Hey everybody! Welcome to Rubber Duck Thursdays. Rubber Duck Thursday, Rubber Duck Thursday. Hey y'all, I'm Kadesha. Welcome to the stream, Rubber Duck Thursdays, where we pretty much just chill, hang out, and build something. Hey, Rubber Duck Thursday, Rubber Duck Thursday. I'm obsessed with the song. Let me turn it down so I can focus. But hi, welcome. Hey ABL, thank you for joining. Let me know how y'all are doing, where you're joining from, what have you been working on? So on the GitHub side, we've been really busy and we've had an incredible ship this week. So I don't know if you remember, but a few months ago or some time ago, we teased something called GitHub Spark. And GitHub Spark is now available in public preview. So today I want to show you what it looks like, how it works, and how you can start building with it soon. Hey Ethan, hey Mohammed, thanks for joining. So let's get right into the stream. I think you're more exciting than me. Absolutely. This is my natural energy. I don't even drink coffee. I did just have lunch, so that does help a lot. I'm here to see the transmission from Panama City. Hey, Panama City in the house. Thanks for joining. But let's jump right into the stream, right? So I want to show you some of the things that we've shipped this week. So let me just turn off this sound. And let's go straight into the stream, because as you know, when you're having fun, time flies. So let me share my screen. Looks like I didn't. Let me share this screen. Boop. And if I do, boop, there you go. Should be able to see my screen. Let me just change this here. Awesome. So this is GitHub Spark. It was just released in public preview yesterday. But before we get into Spark, I want to go to the change log to see all the things that we have shipped this week. Let me just hide this, push down the mic a little bit. All right, so let's see what we've shipped. So yesterday seemed like a busy day for us. So we had 3 ships, so we had 2 improvements and 1 release. So agent page, you can now set the base branch for GitHub Copilot coding agent tasks, which is great. Sounds similar to how you can do that for when you're deploying to pages. GitHub Copilot Coding Agent now supports an instructions file, which is amazing. Custom instructions for Copilot Coding Agent will allow it to output better code for you. So that's incredible. And the one that I really want to talk about is GitHub Copilot Spark is now available in public preview. So Spark is the ultimate vibe coder, right? So whether you know how to code or you don't know how to code, GitHub Spark enables you to build your application very quickly just using natural language or just talking to it with text. So here's an example of an app that was built with it. Some key features of it is natural language to app, no setup required. Add AI to your app so you can build intelligent systems with GitHub Spark. One-click deployment. So once you build the app, you can click publish and it's pushed to the web for all to see. Build your way, create a repository, expand with Copilot agents. So it's pretty much an all-in-one suite. So imagine if you're building the MVP of your product or your application with Spark, you publish it, you validate it with your users to see what they want. You can then take that application that Spark built, create a repository, so then you can clone it to your machine or, open it up in code spaces to use Copilot to build on top of it, or to use Copilot Coding Agent to keep building it with you as you grow and as you scale. So incredible. I love the all-in-one system. But I do know how to code, but I know how to code. That's excellent, Mohammed. It's also for you. So if you know how to code and you're building a product, GitHub Spark will help you to build faster, essentially. Wow, after lunch, I just want to have a little nap. So when I first have lunch, there's like a brief moment where I have all this energy and then, it's all downhill from there. But that's GitHub Spark. And I want to kind of show you what it looks like today. So let's see. So I want to build something. Remember, if you were here last week, we have this little competition type thing going on that's called For the Love of Code. Let me bring up the link so you can go there, gh.io/love-of-code. And essentially, we have a few categories where you can choose to build something and then submit your application. And you have until September 22nd to do so. So you could win, of course, internet fame, 12 months of Copilot Pro Plus, and glory, vibes, and it's just an excellent excuse to use those domains that's sitting in your domain drive or whatever you call it. So let's use GitHub Copilot to come up with some ideas for each of these categories. So the first category is button beeps and blinking lights. So that's more like hardware stuff. I'm not a hardware gal, so I'm going to skip over that category. But if you're a hardware person, that could be the one you choose. Category 2, agents of change. We have terminal talent, game on, where you can build an actual game. Terminal talent is where you build something that's in in your terminal. Category 5, worldwide wonders. So this is like whimsical stuff. So a nostalgic 90s style site could be an example of that. Category 6, everything but the kitchen sink. So regardless of what you want to build, your application would definitely qualify within this game. So now that Spark is in public preview, we can use Spark to build something. So I went ahead earlier and I already asked GitHub Copilot in VS Code to fetch the blog post and provide 3 fun ideas for each category of that blog so we can build one together, because I want to show you how Spark works. So if you didn't know, you can use hash fetch, like so. If I can spell, you can use hash fetch, and then provide a URL for GitHub Copilot to go ahead and search the web and grab that link for you, and it will get, you know, the information from that link. Isn't that amazing? So I just said fetch the blog post and provide 3 different fun ideas for each category. And so let's see what it came up with. So it's going to go ahead and read the blog post and then provide us with some ideas. So category 1, button beeps and blinking lights. Mood ring keyboard, coffee cup status indicator, rubber duck debugger. Oh, rubber duck debugger 2.0. Okay, interesting. Let me know which of these ideas you're vibing with so we can build one together. Oh, so you're promoting GitHub Copilot in these sessions? Yes, so this is GitHub's official stream. And so on this stream, we build stuff with Copilot. I answer your questions about GitHub and all that jazz. So today, the goal is to build something with GitHub Copilot Coding Agent and GitHub Spark if time allows it. Let's see. We're only 11 minutes in, so let's see. Category 2, agents of change, the pessimistic code reviewer. So an AI agent that reviews your code with the energy of Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Commit message translator, the overly enthusiastic peer programming bot. Okay, those are some. What do you think about these ideas that Copilot came up with? I used the Claude Sonnet 4 model. I wonder what ideas other models would come up with. Maybe I can try that. Category 3, terminal talent, CLI dating app. Would you use a CLI dating app? That is such an interesting idea. A terminal-based dating app where you swipe through profiles using arrow keys. ASCII art photos, bios written in various programming languages. She codes in Rust and enjoys long walks through stack traces. I don't know about that one. Terminal pet simulator. The procrastination detector. Oh, so a CLI tool that monitors your terminal activity and gently reminds you, or not so gently, when you've been browsing Stack Overflow for too long instead of coding. These days, I find myself browsing like LinkedIn or Reddit because a lot of people are talking about, you know, just like different AI related activities on those platforms. And so I find myself browsing those instead of Stack Overflow these days. Are you still browsing Stack Overflow? I do use it sometimes when the problem is just very, very sticky and even I just can't figure it out. So I still do use Stack Overflow, but are you still using it? I'm curious to know. 4th category is game on. So playable, puzzling, or just plain fun. Regex Battle Royale, bug hunt adventures, syntax error. I'm not really feeling any of these ideas. Let's see the web ones. So Worldwide Wonders, GitHub Profile Astrology, a web app that analyzes someone's GitHub activity and creates a detailed developer horoscope based on their commit patterns, favorite languages, and contribution graph. Your Mercury is in JavaScript, indicating strong communication through semicolons. That sounds interesting, actually. That sounds fun. Okay. Code Confessional, an anonymous website where developers can confess their coding sins. I've never written a unit test. I copy paste from Stack Overflows. Others can offer absolution or relate. Okay. A dial-up simulator. All right. I like these. I like all these ideas. Let me know what you think. Okay, so everything but the kitchen sink, emotional commit history, the code smell detector extension, RubberDuck as a service. Ooh, RubberDuck as a service, a distributed system where you can rent RubberDucks from around the world for remote debugging session. Each duck has a unique personality and debugging specialty. Premium ducks include career counseling and existential crisis support. Whoa. I actually really like this idea. I feel like it's fun, it's quirky, it's out of the box. What do you think of that? Each of these ideas embraces the spirit of the hackathon, building for joy, creativity, and the love of code itself. So a lot of ideas here. There's 6 categories. That means, like, you know, Copilot suggested like 18 projects for us just now. So I think I'm leaning more towards RubberDuck as a service. I'm curious to see how GitHub Spark would build this, will build this. So I'm gonna copy this idea here. And I'm gonna pop it into Spark. Let me just zoom in a little bit better. Okay. And I'm gonna come in here and say, I want to build an app called RubberDuck as a Service, a distributed system where you can rent rubber ducks from around the world for remote debugging sessions. Each duck has a unique personality, debugging specialty. Premium ducks include career counseling and extracurriculars. I like that, right? So let's see what Spark does. Great. And as you can see over here, once you submit your prompt, you'll see on the left-hand side, you can see the thinking that's happening from Copilot. So Copilot is currently thinking. And you'll see here, the status of your project will pop up. So I think files and like your UI will pop up on this side. And if you want, you can also go into the code to see and to edit the code if you want. And then you can also see your app and the code side by side. So I'll create an RDAS, a delightful RubberDuck digital service for remote debugging. Let me start by generating the PRD and then building this unique application. I love that. I love that Copilot in Spark starts out with a product requirement document because that's going to help to guide the building process as it goes along. Let's see if there are any questions. Let's see. Will AI replace the job of developers? I think AI is rapidly changing how developers function, especially now. Like, as you can see, like we started this year without agents, and now like mid-year AI agents and agents in general are taking over the technical landscape. So I think the role of the developer will evolve and will change over time, as it has, as it's been for decades before. So like when the internet just came out, when cloud services just came out, at every iteration of technology, or like every advancement of technology, the role of the software developer has also evolved. So I think our role will definitely evolve over time. And it's absolutely happening already, where the role has evolved. What do you think? What do you think? Will AI replace the job of developers? Let me know what you think. Because I know you see this app like Spark and it's able to build and do this thing, but building an application and bringing an application to market is a lot more than just coding. You know what I mean? Like coding is kind of the beginning stages. There is planning, there's design, there's go to market, there's scaling, there's consider security considerations. There's so many things that goes into shipping and launching and pushing a product to market. So I don't believe that will be replaced. I think like our role will evolve. All right. So Spark is going to go ahead and build this, but I wanted to see the PRD here. So RubberDuck as a service. Yeah, it's going to keep doing that because it's actually working. So experience, qualities, whimsical, professional, delightful, complexity level, essential features, edge case handling, design direction. Wow. So it came up with a design system, color selection, font selection, animations, and then component selection. This is a pretty great document. And having a document like this when you're building an application it goes so far for language models. Okay, so it has the HTML, it has duck.ts. We have some components coming in. Right. So while Spark build this app, I'm gonna go back to the editor to see if we can actually do another one using Copilot in VS Code. So can it build full stack web applications? So with like a front end and back end? That's a very good question. So if you come here, you'll see like you have a data option. So the data will be stored here. You have prompts. If you're building an intelligent app, it will be here as well. Can it build full stack applications? Good question. I think so because there is a space to store your data. So this is essentially your backend here. But I don't know how far it can go, if that's what you're asking. It's a brand new product, so great question. But I think so. Let's see. Let's see with this Rubber Duck as a service application. Let's see. Looks like something went wrong. So if something goes wrong, it has a fix it all button. Let me click that and see what happens. All right, so it's looking at the errors. It needs to fix the React context and the select component validation error. So it's updating here. Let's see. Nope, it won't. AI can't replace creativity. I agree. Even though I like doing generative stuff with AI, especially like I've really been into doing animated characters, like taking an image and animating it with AI. I do like that. But I do agree that it cannot replace creativity because it can't naturally come up with creative things on its own. And humans are inherently creative and we can imagine things that's just like out of this world. AI is good for an MVP and validate your idea. It's not even enough for product market fit. I agree with you. I mean, yeah, I do think it's really good for building an MVP, that initial version of your application. Then you ship it, you find some, users to validate the idea, and you're like, oh wow, it's actually going. But I have seen stories, so many stories of people who build something with AI and they're earning like thousands of dollars per month. And they've been doing it for like since the dawn of ChatGPT in 2022. So even before we had AI coding assistants that's at the level where it is right now, people have been building products with AI and shipping it to market. Now, I'm not sure if they like hired an engineer afterwards to take a look at what the AI generated before to like really fix it up and make it, good for a product market fit, as you said. But I know there are people building products with AI and earning a lot of money and leaving their jobs and traveling and doing all that stuff. So it can definitely bring a product to market. I'm not even gonna lie with you. I've seen the stories and I've read the stories. Okay, so let's see what Copilot built for us, right? So we asked it to build I want to build an app called Rubber Duck as a Service, a distributed system where you can rent rubber ducks from around the world for remote debugging sessions. Each duck has a unique personality and debugging specialty. Premium ducks include career counseling and existential crisis support. So we had an error, Copilot fixed the error. So let's see um, what we have, right? Pretty. So look, we have some cards here um, in the Rubber Duck as a Service marketplace. Find your perfect debugging companion. Browse our global network. That's cool. Syntax. So can I search? Let's see. Yeah, Dr. Syntax came up. Can I search by location too? Yeah. It looks like that's working. So I can click on this one and it will show me an overview, the specialties. You can book sessions. So there are multiple sessions that you can book. Wow. If I hit book sessions, what happens? I can choose a date. Okay, I cannot choose a date. And as you can see, the UI is a little wonky here. And I can't choose a date. I can choose a time slot though, 2 hours. Description is optional, so it's $100 for this. But I can't choose a date. So I wanna go into Spark and say, hey, I can't choose a date. Help me choose a date. So the select date field. Okay, so let's go back to Spark. All right, so I'm gonna say I'm unable to choose a date. Can you update the select date field? But I mean, for a few minutes of work, this is actually pretty cool. But it's not very responsive, as you can see here. The buttons are, there's a lot of overflow there. If I look in the mobile view, oh, so while it's working, it doesn't look like I can click on these actions. Actions are unavailable while iterating. Okay, makes sense. So let's wait a minute. But you can see some UI issues that needs to be updated. So let me wait until it's done and let me see. So I guess it can build good front end, but we are the one who need to link and manage backend and databases to it. I mean, right here, you can see the user session. It has 0 because we haven't been able to do anything yet. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the limitations and how far it can go, Mira. That's a good question. Let's see. Yes, it's a good entryway, but when you need customer support, debugging, validating features, validate roadmap, take care of security concerns, as you mentioned, or change the stack, those are infrastructural decisions, but it all depends on the product. Yeah, I agree with you, Kat, 100%. 100%. Like coding is like it's the first part of a product, but it's not the full story for sure. Mm, did Oh, interesting. The field didn't clear. I'll have to send that to the team. I'm gonna use today. Can you update? Did it update it? All right, let's try again. Let's see. So if I try to book a session, can I choose a date? Pick a date or interesting. Wow, it added like a whole new date category instead of updating this one. Interesting choice. Interesting choice, Spark. Let's see, test, and if I confirm booking, what happens? Okay, so my debugging session shows up here. Join session. Joining session with Debugbert. Get ready to debug. Okay. All right. So this is a pretty, rubber duck as a service. What else should I add to this? Not sure, but I know that the mobile responsiveness needs some work here, as you can see. There are like some UI issues that need to be updated once it gets to so as you can see, like you can come in here and make updates. Okay, what? The power is notable, but will the AI be able to do the database for the web application as well? Lots of questions about the backend. So here you can see it's like right here in the data section. Right now we have a user session right here being logged. So this is essentially the backend of the application here. We have an ID, we have a duck ID, we have a duck name, duck type, date, all that jazz. And we can also see it in JSON format. So I believe I'm going to do something. I'm going to create this as a repository, and then I'm going to, I can actually just come here, right? Let's see. Where can I see the folders? Okay. Data. So the data is just a simple JSON. Nothing crazy is going on. So there's no actual DB here. You see what I mean? There's no actual database here. These are all the components. It's a JSON file that's like here. You see the table and then you see the JSON blob. Did anything show in the data after you created the booking? Yes. So here you can see the one booking that I made here. Let me do this one there. Oh, excuse me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it looks like a JSON blob, nothing crazy. But I wonder if it could do something more advanced. You know what I mean? If I do that, then that goes. Then I can come back here. Now I need to check that update the session. So it's updating the responsiveness of the application here. Once it does that, I can try to like book another session to see. I have to choose, I still can't choose a date from there, but I can choose one from here. That one is a little, you know, touch and go. What happened? Okay, there we go. So now I have 2 sessions. So now I should have, it didn't appear yet. I wonder why. Maybe because this is actively generating. Not sure. This is like my first time playing around with Spark really. So it looks like it's still trying to fix that UI issue here. And so for me, if I was using this, I would absolutely just create a repository and bring this down to my machine so I can build it in my editor. I guess because I'm just used to doing it that way. It's a little awkward for me to do it here. All right, let's see. So if I do that, okay, so it looks like the UI issue was resolved here. Do you see? So there's no more like crazy overflow happening. If I go to the, yep, so that looks a lot better. So Spark was able to fix that UI issue where the buttons were overflowing the cards. So that's good. That's pretty good. Now there's some overflow issue here, but you know, we can go through and ask it to fix all the issues that we see. If we want to add another feature, we can of course go in here and request it. But it looks like there are also suggestions based on what we have built. Add dark mode, include user reviews, add real-time availability updates, and push notifications. So that's pretty cool. Now I can publish this here. Well, let me see. I saw a question. Okay, let's see. How many changes can we make in it? Is there any limit per day? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the limitations. That's a good question. Let's see. So right now it's only available to Pro Plus subscribers. It's going to be rolled out to additional customers soon. Well, let's go to the Spark product page and read the docs to answer that question. I'm not sure from the top of my head. Brand new products, I'm not, there with the words yet. All right, that's just the product page. Ooh, this is huge. Introduction, prereq, step 1. To refine and expand. I don't know. I don't know if there's a limit to how many changes you can make. Customize the styling, store and manage data. I'm going to come back to this because there's been a lot of questions about data. Refine AI capabilities, deploy. Okay. So store and manage data. If Spark detects the need to store data in your app, it will automatically set up data storage for you using a key value store. And that's what we saw here. I'm going to close some of these so I can see here. So this is essentially the key value that it's just like a JSON blob, essentially. If you deploy your Spark and make it visible to other users, the data in your app is shared across all users that can access your app. Make sure no sensitive data is included in your Spark prior to updating visibility settings. So that's important to know. For our marketing app, let's add data stories so that users can see their favorite pieces of marketing copy and easily access them later. Add favorites page where users can see when Okay, so it can store and manage data, but not in the way that we're kind of used to. What's the main programming languages used here? All right, so I know it's using TypeScript. I saw that. So it's using TypeScript. Let's see if there's no package JSON. So it's HTML, CSS, TypeScript. That's being used here. And I believe it's TypeScript React. Yeah, it's using React as well, and React hook, Spark hooks, but React hooks essentially. I caught the stream late. Is it using CSS grids? I'm not sure. Sorry, let me put that back up. I don't think so, but hold on. I'd have to go through the code to figure out if it's using that, but I don't think it is. Index.css root theme foreground. I wonder if I can, what do you want to change? I don't know if I can ask it questions about itself here. Okay, so that is Spark for now. So let's see. There's also this assets thing. So you can upload images, documents, audio, and video files to use them in your Spark. Very interesting. So like a logo, a restaurant menu, a hero video. So, okay, prompts. So if you're building an intelligent app that uses AI, I think your prompts would be stored here. Theme, you can change your theme by just clicking one of these, and then everything will change. So let's select this one. And you'll see just like that, the theme completely changed. I think I like this theme better, so I'm gonna keep that one. What else? What else is there? Appearance. Okay. Oh, so this changes you can center, make it medium, make it small. This is for spacing, and then these are for your buttons. So you can make it more round, less round. Cool, I like that. Sure. And so once you're finished with whatever you're building, oh, I'm a bit late though. No problem. Welcome to the stream. So today I'm playing with the thing that was just launched, that we just launched, called GitHub Spark in public preview. And so I built this Rubberduck as a service application using Spark in the past, 15 minutes or so that we've been here. And so now I'm going to show you how you can deploy your application that you built with Spark. So that's where we are right now. Okay, so, I did hit the publish button. So now I have a link here. I don't like that. I don't like that. Hold on. Oh, if I hit update, maybe it will update the UI. So right now it's updating. But this is the initial UI here. And it's going to update it to the latest one. This looks pretty good. No, what do you think? Does it look like it was built with AI? And you know how sometimes when you build something, it looks like, oh, AI built that. Does this look that way? I like the little floating animations of the cards going up and down. That's a nice touch. So did it update? Or, okay, if I refresh here, okay, great. Okay, great. So it's updated to the new UI style here, right? I have 2 sessions. I can join my session. Of course, the joining isn't going to work because it's not connected to like anything crazy. But there we go. Rubberduck as a service is live. And so now I can only see, but if I do all GitHub users, be careful, I wonder if you can now see it. So if I pop this link in the comments, can you tell me if you're able to go to that website? Can you go to that site and see it? Because you should be able to. And if not, let me know so I can report it to the team. And so that is GitHub Spark. I love that you can immediately publish it. That's such a great feature and addition here. What else can you do? You can create a repository. So let's create a repository. Create. Go to the repository. Boom, look at that. Now we have a repository. And what I love about this is now I can clone this to my machine or, open it up in a code space. But knowing me, I'll probably clone it to my machine and then I can open it up in VS Code. Well, let me go to my terminal first. Hold on. Yes, it's working. Amazing, amazing. So you see how you can build something, you can ship it, and now people can use it. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. Any rumors of Spark integration with Visual Studio as a replacement or addition to GitHub Copilot? Have you heard those rumors? I haven't heard those rumors. Are you starting the rumor? I haven't heard that. Yes, it can be opened. Weird duck. Weird duck? Oh, this one? I know. I think this is just like the emoji icon that it chose. But there we go. Now it's open. So let me go back here. And I actually wanted to go to documents, MVPs. Yeah. And I'll clone this here. And now let me go into Rubberduck as a service and let's open it up in VS Code. And so now we can open this up in VS Code, which I like. This is familiar territory. But you see how you can say, oh, I have this idea for an app. You go to Spark real quick. You go to Spark and you say, oh, Spark, I want to build an app that does XYZ. And then you create the repository for that thing in your app. You publish it, send it to friends and say, wow, look at this idea. What do you think? Would you use this? You kind of do some validation. And then when you're like, oh, let me actually turn this into something, then you can bring it down to your machine and, build on it. So I can come in here and I can ask a question. I'm going to go into ask mode here. And I'm going to use at workspace to give Copilot the context of the entire repo. And I can say, tell me about this app or whatever. Now you can ask questions about it, right? And now you can build on top of it. It's going to go in. This is our DAS core features. And I think it's taking a lot of this information from the prd.md. And so having a product requirement doc in your application that you're building with any AI tool, so important, because when you go to other AI tools, it will have that context and it can immediately go here and know exactly what's going on, know the direction, know where you want to go and everything about that, everything like that. Session management. Okay, so RDAS, core features, Duck Marketplace, Duck profiles, session debugging, schedule 3 types of session, debugging, career, existential, session management, technical architecture. So the app is built with React, TypeScript, using Spark hooks for state persistence, Radix UI components, Tailwind, CSS. Oh, yeah, so that's what I thought. I thought it was Tailwind. So it's not using CSS grids necessarily. It's using Tailwind for styling. I was like, those long CSS names look like Tailwind. Mobile first responsive design philosophy. So there we go. And so now I can say I can ask like, okay, what other features can I add to this app? And of course, like knowing what features you want in your application, you should know that. But let's just play pretend for now. And then once it comes up with the features, I'm going to say, okay, here are the features that I want. Thank you for doing this. It's been very fun to see. Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm glad. You should just gray out past dates on the calendar. Good, good, good eye. I can have Spark do that. Okay, so it says duck personalities and AI chat. Add a simple chat interface where each duck responds with their unique personality during sessions. Pre-written personality-based responses for common debugging scenarios. Duck mood system that affects their availability and pricing. Oh, I kind of like this. So I'm going to copy this. Hold on. Let's boop. So I can like do the swiping motion that I want to do. There we go. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to just add this here. Boop. This is not the best way to do this, but I'm rushing. Hold on. So let's see this AI feature being added here. Oh, and of course, I'm going to have a gray out past date. So I'm actually going to use agent mode to do that. So we're going to say at workspace, I want to gray out past dates on the calendar picker. Okay. Can you update that for me? Claude. I'm a Claude girl. I'm just going to keep Claude. But you can see this is ask mode. I want to go into agent mode. Okay. You can see that you have access to these models as well in agent mode. So boop. So while this is working on one issue, I also have Spark working on another issue, which is going to implement an AI chat with duck personalities and mood system. I'm curious to see that. I primarily just want to see what that looks like and what this problem section is going to look like. Well, let's go back to the editor here. The calendar already has the logic to disable past dates. Okay. Now I need to update the calendar component to enhance the visual styling for disabled dates so they appear more obviously grayed out. All right. So there is a where did the change go? Right here. Oh. Opacity 30, cursor not allowed. All right, so it added that change. That's fine. That looks fine. Cool beans. There's a package JSON. There's everything. Okay. So npm run dev, it just sees feet. Let's see if I can run this locally. Let me ask. Let's see if I can run this locally. How about that? Let's see. Oh, wait, hold on. My terminal is here. Hold on. Let me do an install. Everyone is using Claude for coding assistance. Remove GPT models for Copilot. No one is using them. That's incorrect. That's false. Who is everyone? You know, a lot of people do use Claude for coding assistance, but people also use other models for different tasks. So I like using Claude for coding, and I like using GPT 4.1 or 4.0 for writing or documenting or brainstorming. Gemini is also really good at documentation type things and also very good at coding. So saying to remove 4.0 and 4.1, I don't like that approach because it's kind of closed-minded, because we want to give people as many options as there are and as we can feasibly provide. You know what I mean? So people still use GPT-4o, GPT 4.1 for coding related tasks, and also for coding. So one person's preference really doesn't dictate the like the models that are going to be available. And if you go into ask mode, you have even more models available. So there's Claude Opus 4, there's Claude Sonnet 3.5, 3.7, 3.7 Thinking. Flash comes into play, O3 Preview, O3 Mini. There's so many models to choose from. It really wouldn't be fair to limit us to just, one type of model for like coding. Let's see if this app runs locally. I'm not sure if it's gonna. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I expected. Yeah, I don't know if I can run this locally. Let's go back to Spark and see. All right, so it added a chat. Where can I find it? Let's do a refresh. Oh, it's still working. It's still working here. Okay, so I'm not able to. Okay. I don't think I can. It's not properly set up. And that's probably a question I'll bring back to the team. Yep, npm run dev, lead server, da 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 da. Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. Yeah. Let me see if you have an error. You can take a picture or you can just pop it in here. Let's see if Spark's finished. Spark's still going. Oh, auto fix error. Okay, Spark's still going. This is gonna take too many steps to do locally. Yeah. I don't want to do that. I really don't. So let's do this. I wonder if you make changes to the repository locally and then you put, like you push it to the repo. I wonder if it syncs with the app that's in Spark. Do you think? I wonder if that happens. So like right now it's working, so I don't want to. Oh, okay. I think it's stopped, but I wonder if it will sync the changes. Let's see. So maybe I can do this. Boop, 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 boop. Go straight to the main branch. Okay, I don't want to pull those changes in yet. So I just pushed right here to the booking. I think it's in booking. No, it's in duck card. So just push that change to the calendar. I wonder if it's going to show up in here. If I do reload, if I go to book, if I go to here, it's now grayed out here. I think this was grayed out before, right? I think this is the calendar picker that's not working that I need to just remove. But this one works, actually. So I don't know, I think it syncs. It seems like it's syncing with the repo because the repo is linked right here as a part of it. But what I really want to see is that chat. Where is it? There's a duck mood system here that we just act as a chat interface here. I don't see get mood emoji. So I see the hook for the chat, like for the duck moods. And I see here, use duck mood system. That's for the chat. And then I see the chat interface here, but I'm not seeing it on the UI. Let's see. Let me make it bigger. Am I tripping? I'm not seeing it. Are you seeing it? Can you give the repo link? Yeah, the repo is right here. I can make it public. Hold on. I'll make it public after the stream. Hold on. I don't see a chat. Let me refresh again. Do you see it? I don't see it. What time is it? 1:56. I don't see it. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's GitHub Spark. Share the repo link. Okay, I will. Hold on. Let me just do something. Hold on 1 second. Main. What does it say? Okay, and so now let me make the repo public. Change visibility, change to public. I want to make this public. Make this public. Okay. Okay, so here is the repo. Here. So you can go there to see what Spark did. Pre-configure local development, a clean Spark environment, ready to scale your ideas. Okay. So I'm going to have to look into running it locally and look into that issue I was having. But I really wanted to see the chat interface here, but I'm not seeing it. So I'm just waiting for it to do that. And so if we go back to the beginning of the stream, this project was going to be a part of the For the Love of Code summer hackathon that's going on right now. So if you build something silly, you build something fun with Copilot, or if you have access to Spark, even with Spark, you can, once you're finished with your project, you can submit your project to win prizes. So if you go to gh.io for the love of code, you can learn more about the project and how to enter and see if it's something you want to do. But what do you think about GitHub Spark? I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a great start. Okay, so I think the problem is it keeps having issues with adding that chat. And if you don't know what to build, you can always go into Copilot and ask it for ideas, which is how we got this Roboduck as a service idea here that we're playing with right now. But this was fun. I'm still just waiting for Spark to implement the chat. But it's already 2 p.m. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna keep waiting for Spark to do this. But what did you think about today's stream? Let me know. Let me know, let me know, let me know. Like, how do we find the chat? Okay. I mean, I see the code for it here. Chat interface. Can I search? I can't search. Okay. Okay. It's not here. I don't know. All right, let's go back here and let's pull in those changes. I can do hold on. Let's do a git pull. Ugh, all this divergence branches. I don't want to deal with all that. I'm gonna look into this after our stream. I don't know where the chat interface is. I don't see it, but I see the code for it. And because the time is up, my brain is having a hard time like taking its time and looking. But this has been Rubber Duck Thursday. Hope you enjoyed the stream. You can go to the Rubber Duck as a Service repository. It's now public, so you can go to it and do some stuff. Pull requests. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Dependabot is automatically added to the repositories that's made with Spark. That's cool. 6 branches. Oh, because of Dependabot. Anyway, you can go to the repository and keep playing with it. And I guess I'll see y'all next week. This has been Rubber Duck Thursdays. Rubber Duck Thursdays. Hey. Thanks for joining, y'all. Bye.